You hear that?
Broad, square shoulders, covered in hair.
And it sounded like footsteps, but like heavy footsteps, not like a human. He seemed to be coming towards us.
A giant head, which was encased with these red eyes.
They also pointed to his size. They said the creature stood between 7 and 8 feet tall.
There's more than what meets the eyes, and there's definitely more than what nature reveals to us. Lurking dangers, hiding mysteries, and creatures far scarier than our imaginations. Hang on for the creepy videos that prove why exploring the woods alone is never a good idea. Bigfoot on trail. At night, the camera recorded what looked like a Bigfoot walking through the forest with the loud sound of its steps. When an officer checked the video days later, he was so surprised that he shared it online right away. He even reported the sighting to officials, but the search team couldn't find any footprints or other signs of the creature. The incident kept people interested, making them wonder if Bigfoot was out there somewhere. Nine Tails. A young camper's peaceful night turned into a magical encounter by the lake. As night fell, he heard strange sounds and saw lights coming from the forest while camping near to the lake. He decided to investigate and followed the noises. As he got closer, he stumbled upon an incredible sight, a glowing nine-tailed fox deep in the woods. The fox seemed to be dancing, its tails moving in sync. After a while, it leapt to the other side. Suddenly, it stopped glowing and vanished into the forest, leaving the young camper amazed by the mythical creature he just witnessed. Possessed ape. A chilling sight was captured on camera near the Klamath River on the Oregon-California border. A camera strapped to a tree branch caught something nightmare-inducing. About 10 feet above a feeder, it recorded what looked like a possessed ape. Suddenly, it let out a bone-chilling roar towards the camera. Its mouth was wide open, with eyes looking at the sky. After a few terrifying moments, the creature vanished into the night, leaving behind only questions about what dark forces hide in those woods. Possessed squirrel. A trail camera caught a squirrel acting very odd in Inver Grove Heights. The footage shows a squirrel perched on a tiny table, munching on corn and seeds. Suddenly, its eyes glow, and it starts moving in jerky, unnatural ways. The possessed creature tilts to one side, then drifts backward, staring at the sky with intensity. After a moment of creepy stillness, the squirrel returns to eating with strange speed. The camera kept rolling, capturing this bizarre scene, which left the viewers wondering if evil spirits had taken over the local wildlife. Woodland Sasquatch. It was supposed to be a fun day at the campsite. A family set up their camera to capture some happy memories, but things took a scary turn when the mother heard a strange noise. Acting fast, she gathered the kids and their things, rushing to the car.
Come on inside! Hurry!
At first, she thought it might be a regular forest animal, but when they got home and checked out their footage, they got the shock of a lifetime. There on the video was an enormous ape-like creature, standing 8 feet tall. The family couldn't believe their eyes. They showed the footage to local wildlife experts who were amazed. The campsite became famous overnight, with many hoping to catch a glimpse of the mysterious, creepy creature. Brazil's a nice place to be, until you come across this crippling creature at night. Caught on camera multiple times, a bizarre creature seemed to roam around in Brazil. The usual animal looked like a hybrid between a mutant lizard and spider, which is huge in size and looks deadly. The terrifying creature had a sleek body with long limbs, all of which were slim. It also resembled a virus that came to life, if seen in person. The weird creature did not seem to stop anywhere and roamed around, scaring the residents. Huge trail skunk ape. A camper's curiosity about strange forest noises led to a chilling discovery. After hearing odd sounds night after night, a camper decided to set up a trail cam on a nearby tree. When he retrieved the footage later on, what he saw left him shocked. The camera had captured a giant, furry creature sneaking behind the trees. Strangely, the beast seemed aware it was being filmed, moving carefully as if trying to avoid detection. The camper was left wondering what kind of intelligent, mysterious animal was hiding in the woods. Trail snake creature. A peaceful day at the national park turned wild when something unexpected happened. While visitors were strolling through a bamboo grove, a large serpent with a gray body and a pink, fin-like crest on its head suddenly appeared near one of the backpacks. It seemed interested in getting food. At first, no one noticed the odd visitor, but when they did, chaos broke out. Park rangers quickly arrived to control the situation. They carefully caught it and took it away for study. Scientists were excited to examine it. They hoped to learn where it came from and how it had ended up within the park. The creature's surprise visit left everyone with an unforgettable story to tell. Octopus caught on trail. A group of friends were enjoying a hike in the Pacific Northwest when they spotted something impossible. High up in a tree, an octopus was clinging to the branches. They rubbed their eyes in disbelief. They quickly grabbed their phones and started filming. The octopus hung there for a few minutes before slowly crawling back into the leafy canopy. The group crept closer to the tree. To their amazement, they found tiny octopus babies hatching right there in the branches. The friends shared their incredible video online, where it spread like wildfire. Scientists were baffled by the creature, and this octopus became a legend of the forest. Bipedal goat. An ordinary evening on the farm turned into a scene from a scary movie. As the sun was setting, a farmer walked near the fence and saw something that made his blood run cold. His goat was standing on its hind legs, walking like a human. Even stranger, a small chick was following close behind, as if the goat was leading it. The farmer stood frozen, his heart racing. He couldn't believe his eyes. What could have caused his animals to act so unnaturally? The question remained unanswered. Unusual creature in the mountains. There's no way this sighting could be real. A shocking video surfaced on the internet when a man was filming around the woods when he came across something lurking between the tall green trees of Mount St. Helens in Washington. The man zoomed in on the unusual being as it hopped around in the wilderness. Resembling the mythological creature the Bigfoot, this creature was anything but a usual sighting in the woods. The creepy being had an unusually gigantic size and resembled a hybrid beast or wild bear. The weird thing then disappeared into the dense wilderness, suspecting that someone may have spotted its mysterious existence. Bigfoot hiking sighting. In broad daylight, 3 ambitious hikers were on their trip when they captured something weird lurking in the background. These hikers were going around, making way for themselves in the green shrubbery, when suddenly, in the far left corner of the frame of the video, a strange, beastly figure seemed to run into the wilderness, trying to avoid being identified. This unusual being was, in fact, the notorious Bigfoot. The 3 hikers luckily didn't recognize the anomaly on the spot. Had they seen it, God knows what could have happened. Paul Freeman Bigfoot. An old camera revealed a father's extraordinary sighting from decades ago. While cleaning out his late father's storeroom, a man found an old camera with surprising footage from 1994. The video showed a Bigfoot walking through a forest. His father had tried to get a closer, better look, but the creature vanished. Along with the footage, the man discovered his father's interview describing the whole incident. This unexpected find brought his father's amazing Bigfoot encounter to light after all those years. Trail anomaly. a couple's road trip took a surprising twist when they encountered a mysterious animal. While driving through a forest, they spotted an unknown creature dragging the carcass of another animal. At first, they thought it was a wild pig, but as they got closer, they realized it was something completely different. When they shone a light on it, the creature quickly vanished into the forest, leaving the couple puzzled and wondering what kind of animal they had just seen. Woodland Sasquatch. Sometimes, the most incredible discoveries happen when you least expect them. A fisherman was trying to catch his next meal on the boat when he noticed movement in the nearby forest. He couldn't see clearly with his naked eyes, so he grabbed his camera and zoomed in. To his amazement, it was a Yeti, a creature he'd only heard about in childhood stories. The fisherman stood there, frozen in shock. Before he could get closer for a better look, the Yeti vanished into the thick forest, leaving the man with an incredible tale to tell. Utah Bigfoot. A nature photographer's hike in Utah's Payson Canyon led to an unexpected discovery. While exploring the canyon, the photographer heard a noise and quickly tilted his camera. What he captured was astonishing. A dark figure walking upright on 2 legs. It took 3 steps before vanishing into the trees. The photographer couldn't believe his eyes. Had he just filmed the legendary Bigfoot? The brief encounter left him with more questions than answers about what might be hiding in the woods. Forest dweller. A morning walk turned into an unforgettable sighting with a mysterious forest dweller. During his usual trail trek, a local man spotted a strange creature emerging from behind a tree. As he started recording, it moved to the other side, clearly alarmed by the camera. Suddenly, it bent down behind a large rock and picked up a baby, a bizarre mix of human and ape. The creature quickly left the scene with its offspring. The man who captured this extraordinary moment on camera couldn't believe his luck, thrilled to have witnessed such a rare and puzzling sight. Real gargoyle. A cliffside sighting turned out to be quite a surprise.
Oh my gosh.
One night, a local spotted a figure on top of a nearby cliff. Thinking someone might need help, he grabbed his phone to zoom in for a better look. What he saw was shocking. The figure had wings and a grayish body, definitely not a human's. Before the man could even blink, the creature spread its wings and leapt off the cliff, soaring away. The local was left wondering if he'd just seen a real-life gargoyle. Close Encounter Sasquatch. A camping trip in Provo Canyon turned into a heart-pounding encounter with an unknown beast. While trying to get a closer look at some squirrel, a group of friends spotted what they thought was a bear. Suddenly, the creature stood up, revealing its huge size, and looked right at them. Terrified, they abandoned their tent and gear, fleeing straight to their car. The video of their encounter went viral on social media. Experts declared it authentic footage, prompting a thorough search of the area for the mysterious creature that had given these campers the fright of their lives. Backyard Creepy Fairy. A family photo session reveals a magical visitor. A dad was happily recording his kids playing in the garden when he noticed something extraordinary. On a nearby tree branch, there was a tiny person with wings, just like a fairy from a storybook.
What is it? I don't know.
The man could hardly believe his eyes. He tried to get a closer look, but the creature was alert. In a flash of sparkling wings, it took off into the sky. The family was left in shock, wondering if they'd really seen a magical being. With proof, the memory of this enchanting garden visitor would stay with the family forever, adding a touch of magic to their ordinary day.
Oh my god.
Ugh.
Trail sighting. Forest officers had a close experience with an unknown being at their shelter camp. The officers heard footsteps crunching on dry leaves outside. Expecting to see a wild animal, they were shocked to find an unknown creature standing tall near their shelter. As soon as it noticed them, it moved behind the trees. The officers called for backup to capture the being, but before help arrived, it vanished back into the forest. Despite extensive searches, the mysterious creature was never seen in the area again, leaving the officers to wonder what they had witnessed that day. Rake encounter. Imagine going to dump garbage, and instead of worrying about the stench, you have to make a run for your life because of this creature. A man who was going about his business recorded the most unexpected thing in the wilderness. Lurking in the shadows of trees and shrubs, a growling creature came face to face with this man. The figure had been staring at the man who was unknowingly throwing away garbage when this weird anomaly decided to crawl towards it. This terrifying figure was crawling towards the man with its long, grayish-colored arms and scared the man, who ran away in no time. Latvia Bigfoot. One hiker's ordinary trek turned into an extraordinary encounter in the Latvian forest. During a hike, a man spotted a massive, hairy figure moving through the trees. He quickly hid behind a tree, hardly believing his eyes. To his amazement, it looked like a towering forest giant, covered in thick fur. Suddenly, the creature noticed him, and in a flash, it dashed across the nearby road and vanished into the dense forest, leaving the man frozen, wondering if he had just encountered a Bigfoot. Sasquatch footage. A relaxing beach day turned into a bizarre encounter that no one could have predicted. At Eel River Beach, a man was enjoying the sun and surf when he spotted something strange coming out of the water. It wasn't a swimmer or a surfer, but a massive, hairy creature standing almost 10 feet tall. The beast moved with a slouched back, its body covered in thick hair. It lumbered across the sandy shore before disappearing back into the waves. The beachgoer rubbed his eyes in disbelief, wondering if he'd just seen a real-life sea Sasquatch. Massive Bigfoot. A normal camping trip became a once-in-a-lifetime experience for one lucky camper. He was enjoying the quiet when he saw a creature that was part ape, part human, standing a towering 7 feet tall. It moved gracefully across an open field, with its head lowered as if in deep thought. Despite its size, the creature seemed gentle, almost peaceful. The camper decided to simply watch and record this amazing sight on his camera. He knew he'd just witnessed something truly special. Park Skinwalker. A night shift at the park turned into a spooky sighting when a park caretaker dozed off on a bench. As he woke up, he saw something behind a tree. Pretending to sleep, he sneakily recorded it on camera. It was a skinwalker that appeared to be moving, with a bent back and carrying a thin stick. When the creature left, the caretaker looked around, but found no trace of the visitor other than the video he'd just recorded. He was left wondering what he'd seen that night. Bigfoot captured. You might think you've seen strange things, but nothing compares to what was captured in this viral video. The footage, taken at an undisclosed location, showed what appeared to be a Bigfoot trapped in a steel cage. A researcher and 2 animal handlers stood nearby, closely observing the locked-up creature. It frantically tried to escape, but eventually surrendered to its fate. The cage was surrounded by cameras to capture every move of it. The source of the video remains unknown, but it quickly drew the attention of investigators. They're now searching for answers, worried that this could be an illegal experiment violating animal protection laws. Jumping Russian Bigfoot. On July 20th, a group was called to check out strange sightings happening in their area. At a popular camping spot, they saw a huge, furry animal jumping from tree to tree. It was much bigger than any chimpanzee they'd ever seen. The little boy in the footage seemed to realize that they might be looking at a real Bigfoot. They quickly called for backup to capture it, but before help arrived, the creature vanished into the jungle. Despite a thorough search, it was never seen in the area again. Skinwalker. In the forest, a camper's peaceful night was shattered by strange noises. It sounded like someone kicking rocks outside his tent. After a while, he decided to investigate. Stepping out into the darkness, the man flashed his light around. Suddenly, the beam caught something sitting near to a tree. It was a pale creature with glowing eyes. The camper's heart raced as he filmed the spooky sight. Sadly, this video became the last trace of the brave camper. When he didn't return home, a search team found only his camera. The chilling footage raised more questions than answers. What was the ghostly being? And what happened to the missing man? The forest kept its secrets, leaving behind a mystery. Scary Bigfoot. You've gotta have guts to come face to face with this terrifying thing. Bigfoot is a bizarre anomaly that frightens even those who see it from afar. But what if it were to come face to face with you? Call him lucky or strong. This person wasn't scared to talk to a Bigfoot and even recorded the encounter. This creature, covered in hair, stared at the person with its horrifying red eyes. The unusual being's facial features were also unbearably scary. Its head was bald, but its entire body was otherwise covered in white hair that looked unkempt. Obviously lurking deep in the wilderness, this encounter with a Bigfoot was surely a miracle. Real Dogman. A hybrid dog or a mythological werewolf that just came to life? You gotta decide. Somewhere in the wilderness, a person recorded a strange creature that looked otherworldly. This mutant dog or werewolf seemed to have emerged from another planet due to its terrifying looks. With an anatomy of a dog and a werewolf mixed, this bizarre creature poses great threats and could possibly take down its opponent in a matter of seconds. The mutant creature could be heard growling and moving ever so slowly towards its prey, as its eyes stared directly at something in the distance. What it was remains unknown. Scary encounter. A farmer's forgotten belongings led to a chilling discovery in his field. As he approached, he noticed something moving in the dark. He shone his light and was shocked to see a creature crawling on 4 legs with white hair on its forehead. It was coming right at him. Terrified, the farmer ran back home. When he returned in the morning, he found his crops destroyed, with clear signs of the strange creature's visit. The incident left him wondering what kind of beast had invaded his land, turning an ordinary evening into a nightmare. Actual Skinwalker. In a deserted area, something creepy happened when a night camera caught footage of a terrifying creature known as the Rake. It crawled out of the darkness on all 4s, with a head way smaller than its body. When it spotted the camera, its eyes glowed, making it clear that this thing was definitely not human. As soon as it realized it was being filmed, the Rake got alert and quickly disappeared back into the dark, leaving behind only the disturbing footage as evidence that it was ever there. Dogman. A homeowner's peaceful night was shattered by an unexpected visitor in the backyard. While relaxing at home, a man heard weird noises coming from outside. He went to investigate and saw something moving near his flower pots. When he shined his flashlight, he caught a glimpse of a strange creature hiding there. The creature, disturbed by the light, moved away at an incredible speed. Shaken by the encounter, the man hurried back inside. The next morning, he searched the garden but found no trace of the mysterious nighttime visitor. Creepy man. A friendly gesture on a road trip led to a terrifying encounter.
Just some cruisers, man.
During his travels, a tourist spotted what he thought was a woodcutter by the roadside. Being friendly, he pulled over to ask for directions, but as he approached, something strange happened. The woodcutter suddenly dropped to the ground and began crawling towards him in a scary way. Its whole body seemed to change shape. The tourist quickly rushed his car away, realizing he'd almost come face to face with a real shape changer. Crawling vampire. A routine check turned into a spooky discovery when a caretaker at a North Carolina zoo in Asheboro was doing his rounds. He spotted something unusual, a vampire bat crawling on all fours. Soon, he saw 3 more, all with razor-sharp teeth. The caretaker quickly reported his find to officials. Worried about their safety, they decided to hand the creepy creatures over to researchers. Before their arrival, the vampire bats disappeared into the night, leaving everyone wondering where they could have gone. Powerful skunk ape. A simple search for firewood led to a startling discovery in the forest. A young camper was gathering dry wood when he spotted what he thought was an ape. Excited to see a wild animal, he started recording. Suddenly, the creature stood up, revealing itself to be a 10-foot-tall humanoid. Shocked by the sight of this giant unknown being, the youngster quickly fled back to his campsite. His peaceful camping trip had turned into an interaction with something straight out of legend, leaving him with an incredible story to tell. Trail Tree Humanoid. A social media celebrity was streaming his walk in the park when something unbelievable happened. As he chatted with his viewers, he spotted movement inside a nearby tree. To his amazement, a tiny human-like figure peeked out.
What? This the spot? Nah, come back out. Why you be peeking like that?
The shocked streamer showed his audience the incredible sight, but as quickly as it appeared, the little being vanished back into its hidden home. News of the sighting spread fast, and curious folks gathered at the park. Despite many hopeful visitors, the tiny creature never showed itself again. The mystery of the park's secret resident became a local legend, leaving everyone to wonder what really lives in the trees. Unknown creature. During a snowy stroll, a couple spotted something odd high up in a timber tree. They quickly grabbed their phones to zoom in for a better look. What they saw left them in shock. It seemed to be a monkey-like creature staring right back at them.
Petting two bears. What? These aren't your pennies.
I see an ape.
Yeah, it does look like a monkey.
A mysterious being was high, far above the ground. Its face was hard to make out clearly, but its eyes seemed fixed on the surprised onlookers. The couple felt a mix of excitement and unease. After a moment, they decided it was best to leave the creature alone. Wild animals are unpredictable, and they didn't want to cause any trouble. As they continued their walk, they wondered what other secrets the snowy woods might be hiding. Adolescent Sasquatch. A group of friends was all set for a forest exploration when they got the shock of their lives. Right at the start of their path stood a hairy, ape-like creature. Both the friends and the strange being froze, staring at each other in surprise. Panic set in quickly. The creature, seeming just as disturbed as the friends, tried to run away. In its hurry, it crashed right into a tree. The collision didn't slow it down for long, though. With a shake of its furry head, that four-legged beast went into the deep forest. The friends were left behind, hearts racing, wondering if they'd just seen a young, legendary Bigfoot. Their forest adventure had barely begun, yet they already had an unbelievable tale they could tell. Skinwalker deer. A casual bike ride through the forest led to a mysterious encounter with some unusual deer. While pedaling along a path, a man noticed a deer acting oddly, moving back and forth. He began filming the deer, thinking it was just another day in nature. Then, another deer emerged from behind some bushes with a strangely bent neck. He reported the sighting to local authorities, and soon people were buzzing about a deer skinwalker, a creature from old stories. The encounter left everyone wondering what was going on in their forest. Real dragon. The town of Durban, South Africa was buzzing with excitement after an incredible discovery. A fisherman stumbled upon something extraordinary near a riverbank. It was a lifeless body of Inkanyamba, a legendary creature from local folktales. This dragon-like being had a frightening mouth, long, strong paws, and a body covered in scales. Experts quickly arrived to examine it, and soon everyone was talking about it. Some were amazed, while others were worried, as they all wondered what this discovery could mean for their local myths and the mysteries of nature in their area. Unidentified carcass. Two friends on a camping trip stumbled upon something that gave them the creeps. While walking through the woods, they came across a strange animal carcass. It was completely covered in maggots.
Covered a flea. What's it called in English?
Shocked by what they had found, they took pictures and told the local wildlife experts. They explained that the maggots eating the carcass are actually a part of the natural decomposition process. So yeah, this is what happens to animals after they meet their ends. Albino Sasquatch. Strange noises from the nearby forest led to a terrifying face-to-face encounter. One night, a resident heard odd animal sounds coming from the forest behind his house. He grabbed a flashlight to investigate, following the noises into the darkness. Suddenly, he saw a strange humanoid creature. Terrified, he dropped his flashlight and ran home. The next morning, he returned and saw two eyes watching him from afar. Using his camera to zoom in, he saw a large face camouflaged in the surroundings. He quickly left and reported it to the authorities, but their search turned up nothing. Forest giant, Fresno nightcrawlers. In the dark of the night, somewhere in the world, a creepy white figure was captured striding down a walkable path. The unusual creatures, containing a white, round head and two long limbs sticking out of its head, seemed like an extraterrestrial being's anatomy. In another weird sight, this creature looked unusually small and could be seen popping out from behind a fence of a house's backyard. But what it does next adds more to its mysterious origin. This white figure seemed to walk on water as if it was hopping and crossed the huge swimming pool. How it did that is not understandable to me. Let me know down below what you all think of it. The subscriber's pick. Let us move on towards our subscriber's pick of the day. Screaming, shaking, running away. This is what you would do too if you spotted this thing in the woods. A man had the most frightening encounter with a mythological creature that had come to life for him. A Bigfoot. The creature sat in the woods with its back facing the camera of the man who was recording the scene.
What is that?
Then, suddenly, out of nowhere, the creature turned its back and gave a death stare to the man, who had shivers running down his spine.
Whoa! Ah!
The man then screamed at the top of his lungs and ran as fast as he could to get out of the creepy creature's sight.